it's Bisma. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back, and welcome to a very exciting video for me because tomorrow, officially for me when I'm filming this, Ramadan starts. Ramazan, whatever you say. We say Ramazan, but Ramazan or Ramadan is a time where Muslims fast for 1 month, not the whole time. We fast from sunrise to sunset. To know more about it, you can look it up. I am not the speaker of all Muslims. This is the holy month when the Quran was given to our people, which is our holy book, and we celebrate our prophet. We fast also so we can understand our privilege. I can't speak as eloquently as other religious philosophers can, but today I'm going to be sharing with you guys books that I hope to read during this month of Ramadan. Some of these books will be like towards my religion, and some of these books will definitely just be written by Muslim authors or just books that I need to finish during this time. So without further ado, I hate long intros. Let's get on with this video and with my recommendations for you and me for what we should read during Ramadan time, or if you don't celebrate or this is not your religion, just 4 books that you should potentially think about picking up. So the first book that I'm going to start with has nothing to do with Ramadan, but I want to finish this pretty much. So it is From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I'm finally picking this book up only a couple of days before the third one is coming, which I heard that it's going to be a 6-book series from Sophia, so I'm nervous because what the fuck, why is it 6 books? But I guess I will be here for it. I'm currently already like 260 pages into this. I'm actually really enjoying myself so far. It was a lot of world building like any other fantasy book, and this book just follows our main character Poppy, who is a maiden. Essentially in her world, she is this very religious and like pure person who is basically gonna help their people go to God status in a way. It's gonna help them live forever. So she has all of this pressure put on her to be like this perfect pure person. She didn't really choose this life. She was just born the maiden, and she has all this pressure on her. So she tries to do every like rebellious thing that she can without getting caught. And one of these things is where she meets Hawk, who ends up actually being one of the royal guards who watches over her. They had a little bit of a rendezvous together. She's worried that he is going to basically snitch on her and let them know that she's been sneaking out, even though that's not very maidenly like her, and she needs to be this very pure girl. So she's very scared that he's gonna tell on her, and they had this very compromising moment together. So I've been told that this is going to be enemies to lovers to enemies to lovers again, so it's very complicated, but I'm so here for it. And so far I feel like we finally have gotten into the world building, so I'm starting to enjoy it a bit more. At first it was like, this is no different than any other fantasy book, and I feel like I had so many expectations on it, but now I'm just gonna try to chill and just enjoy the time that I have while reading this, because it is very interesting and actually very intricate once you get more into the magic system and start to understand it more. So I'm excited to see where it goes. So the next book that I'm really hoping to read this month, I'm gonna try to make it a really big priority for me, and that is We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Fazl. Now, if you guys have seen the drama going on in the book community, I just want to read her books even more now. Like, this book has been on my TBR for at least 4 or 5 months now. I know some people absolutely adore this book. All I know that it's a fantasy with like POC characters that are, I think, Middle Eastern, and honestly I just need all the rep. And she's a Muslim author, and I have seen her on Twitter, and she just seems like the sweetest person ever. I think I saw her maybe at a book convention once, maybe, I think, but I literally, everything that I've heard about her, everything that I've seen about her online, she has been the most sweetest woman, unlike some of these authors, but she is literally seems so sweet and so genuine and so nice. And what perfect month than other than this Ramadan month to read her book, and I'm so excited. And I know some of you guys really love her books, and I finally want to know what the hype is about. And honestly, her book looks absolutely gorgeous, and I cannot wait to read it, and I'm really excited. I absolutely know nothing about this book. So the next book that I will be talking about is Henna Wars, and this book, it's been exactly almost a year since I put this book on my TBR. Henna Wars follows our main character Nishat, who has recently just come out to her parents, and she is Muslim, so you probably know how well that goes over. She wants to be herself, but her parents just don't accept her for who she is, and it really does hurt her feelings, obviously. Like, being who she is, like, and coming out to her parents was a very vulnerable thing for her to do, and her parents do not accept her for it. Deals with that, about coming out to a family who is not supportive, as well as in school she joins this competition where they have these different competitions, and she decides to enter as a henna artist. But another girl named Flavia, I believe, also starts doing henna designs for other girls as well, even though it is considered cultural appropriation. Those are two of them, as she does not like Flavia because, you know, she's like appropriating her culture and making profit off of her culture. So she's very, very upset about this. Follows the two of them as they both try to not like each other, especially Nishat, who's recently just come out. She can't handle the stress of a relationship and her sexuality while her parents still don't believe that she's lesbian and everything. And it just seems like such a cute, adorable like book, and just a coming of age type of book. And honestly, just seeing more girls like me who are Muslim and grow up in this society where anything, even our sexualities, like anything about us is constantly put under scrutiny, and just reading about a girl who's like living in America in modern day and who is like me, has the same cultural background as me, is just something that I want to continue to do and continue to read. So I'm really, really excited to read this book. And Mehndi, or as henna people call it in English, has like always been a big part of my life. It's one of my most favorite parts of my culture. So I'm very excited to see what the author does with that aspect of it. Even though I myself cannot do henna at all, I have friends who can do it, and it's always beautiful. And it's one of my most favorite parts about Eid and like Ramadan time, is just doing a lot of henna, and it's like my favorite part of our culture. So I'm very, very excited to see this book, and I'm so excited to read it. I cannot wait for it to come in. The next book is actually a sequel to Mirage, which was one of my most favorite books I think last year. And this book basically follows our main character, whose world has been taken over by these other people and conquered, who are actually horrible and treat them as just vessels and like servants for them. And one day at one of their festivals in their culture, the soldiers show up and take her to the capital, and she thinks that she's going to be murdered, but she is informed that she will be the body double of the princess, because the princess is about to come of age, and she has a lot of haters, obviously. I mean, they're horrible people. So she has to play the body double of this princess whose family has essentially taken over their world and ruined it, hurt their people so much. So she has to pretend to be this girl, or not only will they kill her, they'll kill her whole family. And the princess has this fiancé, and she has to basically convince everybody that she's her, even though they're nothing alike, or so it seems. I cannot wait for the second book to come. It's absolutely beautiful. I saw the cover, and mwah. The next book that I'm going to be talking about is The Candle and the Flame, and I don't really know much about this, but from the synopsis that I just looked up, kind of follows a similar story of this country being taken over by these other people who basically slaughtered her family and everybody, and only her and her brother, I believe, survived. And now she is under the power of another ruler and has been kept safe from these people, but suddenly she has a new power, which has worried her brother about like what the power is. And I don't really know much about this. All I know is that there's fantasy culture intertwined into this, and I'm very, very excited to read this as well. I think it's going to be a really good time, and it was highly recommended by you guys, so I'm excited to read this. Next book is called The City of Brass, and this is also a book that has been highly recommended by the booktube community, so I'm very excited to read this. All I know is that it's inspired by the Ottoman Empire, and it follows our main character, who is a con woman and basically does palm readings and tarot readings and stuff, but she herself has never ever believed in magic until one day she accidentally summons this Djinn like warrior who tells her this story about this whole like fantastical world. So it kind of gives me a little bit of Strange the Dreamer vibes, and that's pretty much all that I know about it. And I'm really excited to read it because that sounds so interesting itself, and I know that there's like big fan bases who love this book. And again, I just want to support as many like Muslim authors. They seem Middle Eastern, just like Muslim authors in general. The next book that I'm going to be talking about is called Secrets of the Divine Love, and this one was actually recommended to me first by my friend Umera, and then afterwards I picked this up myself for one of my Quran classes that I have, and I've just heard absolutely fantastic things about this book. And honestly, one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to pick this book up is because a lot of things that I know about my religion are told to me by adults and older people than me who have already found their religion. And one of the basic pulls of this book is modern Islam, and I know that has a lot of like bad connotations, but I just really wanted to read this book to be able to see a Islam in a way that I haven't seen it before, even though this book heavily uses the Quran to give you ways to help strengthen your faith. And I personally want to strengthen my faith and get it from a different perspective, and it's written by a fantastic woman, and I have been following her on her Instagram for so long now, and I'm very, very excited to have this book physically because we have ebooked it, like started to ebook it in my Quran class, but I really do want to read it physically because I think that this is the type of book where you need to take notes and highlight it and like truly understand it in order to like get the full meaning of it, if you understand what I'm saying. The next book that I'm going to be talking about is called Women in Islam, and according to its little bio thing, it's a challenge to the liberal, cultural, and traditional teachings about women in Islam, a compilation of quotations from the Quran and the Hadith collections that address women specifically. I'm just very, very excited to just read this book because honestly, women in Islam are told through their culture and by specific people how to act, but I feel like in order to understand how God wants us to be and women's place in Islam and everything, unpack the stereotypes that are given that we're oppressed women and everything like that, and just all of the negative things that come from our cultures, I feel like I really wanted to pick this book up because I want to learn more about what the Quran says about us women and what the Quran actually wants us women to do, not from the perspective of misogyny and not from the perspective of Western people who think we're oppressed. So I'm very, very excited to pick this up and to read it. And obviously another thing, I will be reading the Quran during Ramadan. Obviously I will. The next book that I'm going to be reading is Ilhan Omar's book. I'm pretty sure it's a biography or an autobiography. I'm going to be audiobooking this. Badass woman, like I really look up to her. Her and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, like they just are such a badass team, and her and Rashida as well. And I really want to read her memoir and just understand where she's from. I think she didn't grow up in America, or maybe she did, but I don't remember. Like she came from somewhere else. I forgot from where, but I know that. And as somebody who was born in like Pakistan, and then when I was like 2 years old I came here, like the immigrant experience, I feel like she would be able to understand it, and I haven't really met people like that can understand that perspective. Guys, that wraps up all the books that I want to read during Ramadan time. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any other Muslim authors or just book recommendations that you think that I should read or pick up, please leave them down below. Also, if you made it this far into the video, leave down below a little heart emoji so I know that me and you both made it to the end of this video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed, and if you guys did, please subscribe and like this video. It really does help out my channel, and it's a really fun time. If you like books, vlog, fashion, and just all types of other things, please consider subscribing. I'll catch you guys in my next one. Bye bye.